How no one slid him a heat? If the state is so friendly to the gun laws, how nobody gave this man a pistol? Why he ain't asked for a pistol? Why he wasn't inquiring? I need a pistol to have on me though. But you that guy though. You know what I mean? Shit. The image, the music. What's up? Where's the ingredients in the core fundamentals though?
Well, Bob, Metro Police issued an arrest warrant for 19-year-old Adrien Cameron Jr. this evening. Police identified him as one of 3 suspects involved in the Saturday morning's murder of Christopher Cheeks, who goes by the stage name Chris King. Now, police say Cameron Jr. was out on bond at the time. As part of his bond condition, he was wearing an ankle monitor. Police say data shows the monitor was cut off shortly after the shooting. Now, that bond was for the 2021 murder of 50-year-old Josh Evans. Cameron Jr. was 16 at the time of his arrest in that case, but his charges have since been upgraded to adult court. Evans was shot to death and dumped in the Cumberland River. Officers recovered his body more than 10 days after he was last seen alive. Now, in the course of the investigation into Josh Evans's murder, police tried to question Cameron Jr.'s father, Adrien Cameron Sr. Their attempts ended in Cameron Sr. barricading himself inside a Nashville motel. He then opened the door and shot at officers. Police on scene returned fire. Cameron Sr. died the next day. Adrien Cameron Jr. was on the run for 6 months before he turned himself into police in 2022, and now police are looking for him again. If you know where he could be or anything else about...
So this video we about to get into is about Chris King. If y'all don't know who Chris King is a rapper, probably more on the underground side, but he's very notorious for his relationships in the industry, especially with like Trippie Redd and you know, I think he was with Triple X and the motherfucking a whole bunch of other cats that's out this new school, right? I done seen the cat around. He show a lot of love to the cat Scrams out of Denver. You know, I feel like he from Mafias. I feel like he might be either that or he a Pyro. I'm not sure. Y'all let me know down there in the comments what he is. But nonetheless, I know he banged that B side, that red side. I know that. But over the weekend, you know, I saw what happened to him, and I saw that, you know, his account when it was still active after he got killed, and I seen the post that he posted of himself out there in Tennessee showing off his Rolex and his chains and shit. He seemed like a cool cat though, you know what I mean? You know, every time I seen him on some shit, he seemed like he was on some cool shit. He never came across me like no tough guy or no super hard banged out motherfucker or nothing. He seemed like just a young cool motherfucker that get money and rap and shit. You know what I mean? Probably, you know, influenced by the Lil Waynes and all that type of shit. But ultimately, his life was taken on 420, and a friend of his was shot during an attempted robbery. And currently, right now, they've got 3 suspects that they're looking into right now. All 3 of them are on the run. And one of them is a 19-year-old kid that's actually out on bond for a murder he committed when he was a juvenile in 2021. And, you know, it raises the question, like, you know, if he's already got a body, how the hell is he out? Because he was on ankle monitor. And after the killing, he allegedly cut off his ankle monitor and he's on the run now. But the video we're going to get in is going to cover this topic right here. We're going to watch it. I'm going to give y'all my feedback. Y'all can give me y'all feedback in the comments, and we can keep this thing rolling. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Man, in this world of social media, one single photo could have a domino effect that could end up getting you murked. All it takes is that one simple photo mistakenly getting posted, or even posted on purpose showing your location or what jewelry you're rocking, and people that are just lurking on your story that might not even be your fans, man, they could even be your fans, just waiting for you to slip up just so they can take advantage, man. It happens all the time, and unfortunately for the rising rapper and Trippie Redd associate Chris King, this small mistake is looking like it might be what contributed to him losing his life.
And police are looking for 3 suspects in a fatal Midtown shooting. We're learning police say 32-year-old Christopher Cheeks was killed.
You know, it always baffles me though, you know, why motherfuckers be watching your story, following your account. They don't like your posts. They don't do none of that shit. They just watch. You know, there's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of haters, especially when it comes to social media. A lot of motherfuckers is peeping you out from the sidelines, looking in, and they looking to see if they can catch you slipping or if they can catch you falling, because they want to see a motherfucker fall, especially if you're doing good, you know what I mean? Because social media tend to be a highlight reel, and believe me, your success offends a lot of motherfuckers, and I've learned that the hard way. But I believe this shit right here. I believe he probably had a bunch of haters, especially being in Tennessee, Nashville. You know, motherfucking time is hard out there already. I can only imagine down there in that country, you know what I mean? And here, and some of the motherfuckers at the event that I seen in the post and shit, they look like some weirdos and some off-brands, but, you know, this new generation, they accept anybody and everybody. They open the door to all kind of weirdos, you know what I mean? All kind of weird shit goes nowadays, so it's not foreign to me to see, you know, a motherfucker fucking with some weirdos and some 2024 shit. But, you know, it's cold that this cat's post, you know, that the people following him got the drop on him from his own Instagram, though.
In a brazen double shooting in Nashville, Tennessee, man. The underground rap world was pretty much stunned when news broke on Friday that Chris King was a victim of senseless gun violence. There was tributes from DJ Scheme, Trippie Redd, and Justin Bieber. Bro was an up-and-coming rapper with connections and drive that honestly made it a huge surprise when people saw that he lost his life this weekend. You know, I would have never have guessed looking at Chris King, especially just seeing him on social media and how he interacted with fans and would pull up and just be outside. But when more details have actually come out in his final hours, it actually paints a crazy picture of what can go wrong if you just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, man. Today we got to get into the beef that ended the 1400 rapper Chris King right now, and what went down in the situation in Nashville that ended up ending his life right now. But before we do, man, you already know what we got to do, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 100k subscribers, man. Make sure you tap into that merch link in the description and hit that notification bell so whenever I post, y'all tune in right away. No reoccurring viewers, man. We're gonna tap into this mad sad situation right now, man. Let's get into it. Chris King was a super slept on rapper coming out of Fontana, California. Growing up in that dusty shithole that is the Inland Empire, bro had very little options but to find a way and go and get it. He eventually started selling lean, going out in Los Angeles trying to build connections. Because of his real love for music though, he was always trying to be a rapper. While in LA, he was able to tap in and get into a good relationship with Trippie Redd. Basically became a staple of his entourage and, you know, the whole 1400 era. Bro was really one of the early people around Trippie in the early SoundCloud days, making a name for himself on his feature on Trippie Redd's song Love Scars Part 2, which in the underground SoundCloud era was a huge hit. It was honestly one of his biggest songs at the time, and pretty much from that point on he was solidified in the underground rap world and had connections that reached as far as apparently Justin Bieber, man. But fast forward several years after Trippie Redd's peak, it looked like Chris's career was starting to slow down as well. It felt like this whole group was sort of, you know, going through the natural stages of a SoundCloud artist. Obviously Trippie Redd is pretty far outside of his peak. If he's that far out of his peak, imagine how it would have been for Chris King. You know, he obviously probably wasn't getting shows as much. The money started probably slowing up as much and probably had to do a lot of things on the side to try to make it through and pay bills. It seemed like he wasn't really getting LA shows like that, and that could have been a contributing factor into his downfall, because in the last couple of days of him being alive, he got booked for a show that was pretty far from his usual stomping grounds in California, out in Nashville, Tennessee, and unfortunately it ended up being his last, man. And we got to get exactly into what happened down there. Although Chris King was sort of on the tail end of his career, he was still getting booked, and the only issue being that the shows were nowhere near LA. In his last couple days, Chris King actually got booked out for a show at the Canna Festival in Nashville. It was 420 weekend, so you know, the day before 420 they had all these weed brands basically set up out that way at a park in Nashville. And for Chris King, it seemed like the festival he pulled up to was just like a low-key weed smoking festival, and he pretty much posted his entire day on Instagram, and that was part of the red flag that I kind of saw. So when you were looking at his story, if you followed him, you saw that he was flexing like his rollie and stuff, and basically flexing his change, and was posted up just out in the field, not with like a large group, just, you know, basically by himself. Pulled up to the festival, did a low-key show, pulled up, and it was pretty lit. But I feel like that was definitely the beginning of the end. Flexing his watch and flexing his chain. Obviously in LA you probably shouldn't do that, but people are used to that. But out there, people would definitely see that and be like looking at you like a lick. And I feel like these rappers be off the the gas and off the lean, just vibing off the shits and don't really be thinking about their environment, or just the fact that these broke dudes around them that might be kicking it or nearby will do anything for a dollar. Because while the show and his performance seemed like a success, he went to the studio afterwards to do features, and it would be...
Hey, he's saying some real shit right there though, because that's how these motherfuckers be. They be out of town and they be thinking shit sweet. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure motherfuckers move with a little bit of precaution, right? They move, but motherfuckers be leaned out, they be smoked out, they be peeled out, zannied out. You know, these motherfucking, come on, new generation, y'all know y'all be on some all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? NBA young boy type of highs and shit. You feel me? So, you know, it ain't no surprise to me that bro was out there out of bounds. You know what I mean? And not even thinking twice about the shit he was doing. You know what I mean? It's regular rap shit. You know what I mean? Shit. You know what I mean? A lot of times motherfuckers ain't getting pressed, ain't get even in LA. Let's be honest though, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers do be getting it, but let's be honest that there be some goof troop motherfuckers that be out there moving and maneuvering. And believe me, motherfuckers be in the entertainment industry smoking mirrors and shit. And here he is. He ain't thinking no better. It ain't never crossed his mind probably when he up there flossing his Rolex and shit way out there in motherfucking Tennessee of all motherfucking places. But, you know, he got a point though. I mean, he's starving right now. Artists ain't eating. You know, he gonna go wherever he can go to get the dollars. You know what I mean? He about his money. You gotta respect the young cat for him, but you know, this is the flip side that come along with that shit right there. All that gritty shit, motherfuckers rap about, talk about all that tough shit, and then get caught slipping when they go out of town. How that work? I feel for the young brother though.
His lack of awareness though that would ultimately lead to his downfall in a shooting that would go down just a couple hours after being in the studio.
And police are looking for 3 suspects in a fatal Midtown shooting. We're learning police say 32-year-old Christopher Cheeks was killed and another 29-year-old man was injured. The victim said he and Cheeks were hanging out before a group of 3 suspects tried to rob them. It was during that time shots were fired. The 29-year-old was taken to the hospital for his injuries. Cheeks was found in the parking garage of the Hayes Street Hotel. He was taken to Vanderbilt, where he later died.
Early Saturday morning, about 2:30 a.m., a shooting was reported at the 1909 Hayes Street Metro. Nashville police said. Someone even posted it on their Snapchat story reporting that someone had gotten shot over in an alley type way. Police responded and found one person was killed and another person injured in a shooting in an alleyway between Hayes and Church Streets early Saturday morning. Homicide detectives are still active and trying to find leads. The fatal shooting of Christopher Cheeks, aka Chris King, was reported, and he was reportedly killed at the scene, and another 29-year-old man was also injured. But police were able to paint a story of what exactly had kind of gone down that night. So police believe that Cheeks, aka Chris King, was at the location with friends when 3 men began interacting with the group. The police said that the 29-year-old victim reported the group was hanging out cordially for some time before 3 suspects attempted to rob his group of friends. It was then that he heard gunfire and realized he was struck. The victim, Cheeks, aka Chris King, and their other friends ran off in separate directions. The 29-year-old was found on Church Street and was transported to Vanderbilt University Medical Center for treatment. However, Cheeks was found in the parking lot garage of the Hayes Street Hotel, and he was taken to Vanderbilt, where he was reportedly dead. The initial report that police gave made it seem like as though they had been plotting on Chris King and had pulled up on him. There were initial rumors online that he had been set up or something along those lines, but judging by the fact that the police say it was a group of friends, it seemed like it was more likely one of 2 scenarios. You know, one being that people saw his story and were plotting on him throughout the day because they saw they had a lot of jewelry on and was basically flexing, or people saw him either at the festival or in the area that he was posted in. You know, it was 420 weekend, so people were probably lit over there and attempted to rob him. The very fact that they say that there was 3 people that basically pulled up on him, it sounds like some type of targeted situation. It was definitely planned ahead of time, because how are you going to just find 2 other people that are down to rob someone?
Basically, they played like they was cool with him. They was chopping it up, smoking, probably poured a foe, whatever the fuck they all be doing in the studio nowadays. They played him, and ultimately they felt comfortable enough to up it on him. You know what I mean? That's what they did. They drew down on the motherfucker. They tried to get everybody there. They tried to rob them all. 3 motherfuckers. They think that they gonna lay everybody down and come up real quick. But, you know, unfortunately, bro's no longer here. these three is gonna be on the run. When they do get bumped, they gonna do, I guess, a little bit of time. I guess out there in Tennessee, they really don't care. I mean, damn, he was a juvenile. He got a murder case, and he already out on probation with a ankle monitor. So I really doubt they're gonna do much time behind it. Plus, he's a rapper. They probably don't give a fuck, down there. But yeah, cold scenario.
Moment's notice. It obviously sounds like it was something that was like previously planned, or it could have been people just going around looking for someone to rob. Obviously it seems like he didn't have that fire on him, which was his critical mistake. Police say the group spread out and ran, so it seems that bro was most likely ill prepared. It's crazy because people think it's only the large scale rappers that can get robbed in a city they are unfamiliar with, but it could really happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. But bro really should have did his research on the state of Tennessee, I'm not gonna lie. While Nashville doesn't get the same type of rap of a city like Memphis does, the whole state of Tennessee be on some straight crazy shit, man. If you look at someone like Young Dolph or Yo Gotti's big brother Big Ju, they weren't safe in their own city within Tennessee, so what would make you think that you would be safe in the city of Nashville with no fire, man? Honestly, just walking around with chains. Like, you're literally walking around with a gun on you because it's allowed. No one's really gonna try you like that. I'm pretty sure open carry is allowed. But
think about this though. You got three cats that can come together and put their mind together, and this is what they doing with their motherfucking time. Cause bro's watch ain't worth all that much, neither is his chains and shit like that. In a three-way split, come on, man. You motherfuckers could work a motherfucking job and get that shit over time. Like, this is bum behavior right here. Bums do this shit right here. Low level vibrating bums be on this type of time. You done stalked the man's Instagram, motherfucking missioned it over there, became cool with the group, all to get this shit right here, to have it turn out sour. Terrible.
it would be kind of a fried mindset to know all this and see that people are actively allowed to carry guns, even legally, and still think that you can walk around with your jewelry on, with your chains on, with your rollie on, and not have a gun, especially in a city where you don't really know, and the guns are just readily available for everyone else, man. It's just a combination that isn't really good. Bro wasn't even trying to be low-key. You know, he was...
Because this cat a gang member, right? He part of a gang, motherfucking... He rapped that shit, you know what I mean? And I'm not too familiar with his music. Maybe he don't rap that shit. Y'all let me know down there in the comments. But I feel like most rappers, right? They always talking about having they sticks and being, you know, this, that, and the third, right? But bro's out of town and it don't even click in his mind. He don't, even when he touched down out there for the event, ain't nobody got no heat for him, ain't no way slide him a little thing or none of that shit. Like he's naked out there. So how does this even happen? Like, how do you move like that? I mean, come on now. If we moving, we got to move smarter, right? Because I mean, even I would know if I'm going down there and I'm coming out as a rapper and I plan to have my jewelry, I need to have it on me. I'm out of bounds. You feel me? Even when I'm within bounds, I need to be motherfucking head on a swivel. You feel me? But this that new age shit. This that 2000 baby shit. Probably born in the 2000s. You know, they don't be moving like that. And it's a shame he's naked. And because of him being naked and slipping and everybody else around him slipping, my man ain't here.
Pretty much posting his whole location the whole time, so it's just a matter of time that people were able to catch up to him. And just me personally knowing of him, and I've known people that shot videos for him, and he's the type of dude that really would be outside like that. Like, bro would be posted on Melrose, bro would be posted in Miami, in places where like people would be out and stuff and be posted up selling his clothes, selling his weed, you know, selling his merch, pushing his music to the streets and stuff like that. He was like one of those type of dudes that was always interacting with fans, interacting with people, you know, posted up selling stuff. So it seems that he probably was doing the same thing, but he was doing it in a city that he was unfamiliar with, doing it in a city where gun violence is crazy, there's mad shootings all the time, doing it in a city where guns are readily available, and doing it in a city where people are not used to rappers just being out and about like that. Like, maybe in LA people will be out and about like that and might see you and might not try to rob you. I mean, there are people that would be trying to rob you out in LA, but like, there'd be, you know.
This is what I was just saying right there, but yet I didn't know the part about them not tripping on the open carry. This made how no one slid him a heat. If the state is so friendly to the gun laws, how nobody gave this man a pistol? Why he ain't asked for a pistol? Why he wasn't inquiring? I need a pistol to have on me though. But you that guy though. You know what I mean? Shit, the image, the music. What's up? Where's the ingredients in the core fundamentals though?
You know, the average fan out there will be like, oh shit, that's a rapper, and be excited. When the average fan in Nashville might see you with all your chains and stuff and be like, yo, this dude is a lick right here. So it's just super unfortunate what happened to him. Obviously, prayers to his family and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, this is a lesson to like rappers, even not the A tier rappers, but like the B tier rappers, the C tier rappers, the dudes that just pull up and do these low key shows. If you go have jewelry and be like that, or gas, or any type of valuables on you, you need to move militantly, especially when you have like so many thousand fans and followers that follow you on a moment's notice. People just looking up for a lick, man. I wouldn't be surprised whoever hit him up ends up getting caught within the next couple of days, which would be a total waste of everyone's time. Bro literally murked someone and probably will get caught. These people are not very smart, you know. Most of the time that these incidents happen that we see on this channel, these dudes be murking them and don't even get away within the next week or so. There's so many cameras everywhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case here. You know, it was a pretty busy area that this went down, but it's just so unfortunate that it had to go down like this, that someone lost their life like this. And I really hope it's not a scenario where
He just got so comfortable being cool and being a cool motherfucker. He just thought shit was sweet. He didn't think, probably never really crossed his mind, and if it did, it didn't weigh too heavy. You know what I mean? He just kept it going and kept doing what he normally does, being a cool motherfucker, showing love. But we live in this motherfucking filthy, fallen world right here where, you know, a motherfucker will show you love just to get up on you and get close to you, like this right here, just to get you for some nickels and dimes. So, I mean, like, three-way split on a rolling the chain. Come on, man. That shit is terrible. But, I mean, that ain't nothing new. This shit gonna keep going on. You know, the Bible says a man will transgress against his brother for a piece of bread. So if a man will transgress, that means go against for a piece of bread. What else would they do for a little bit more change?
Find out that bro just wasn't trying to give it up, because people be ending up endangering their own lives not giving up their jewelry, man. Like, look at the happened to like Pop Smoke. Look at what happened to PNB Rock. Like, man, if you have the situation where someone is just rushing you, trying to rob you, and they're pointing a gun at your face, like, just give up what you have. You don't want to end up getting robbed and shot over something that's just, you know, valuables and stuff like that. Like, get away with your life at the end of the day, man. But that's just how I feel. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this whole situation. Let me know what y'all think about Chris King's music and stuff, and let me know what y'all think, man. It's a crazy scenario. At the end of the day, I would have never expected this type of thing to happen, and bro has some super fire stars and a pretty promising career. All he needed was a little bit more attention. That's why it's just kind of crazy when I look at like Justin Bieber and stuff, posts like that. Obviously Trippie gave dude mad features, but it's like these same people could have been helping bro out.
He ain't lying. They on dummy time right here. And I guess he made this video before all the information came out. But like I said, you know, they're searching for 3 of them. They're on the run right now, and they've got pictures of them. They got the understandings. You know, there's people that were around there. They hung around. It all makes sense because they hung around for a little while. People done seen their faces. You know what I mean? Cameras, all this shit. Like, this is dummy time. This is crash out time. And, you know, I feel for the young brother that lost his life, though. You know what I mean? Condolences to him, his family, and his friends, because seems like the entertainment industry, you know, ultimately, you know, Keke Palmer, Justin Bieber, I mean, big names, you know, all been showing love and showing that they grieving behind this being a friend right here. Mozzie, the whole 9. But, you know, I want to make this video just to, you know, cover some bases, you know what I mean? Because this is an ongoing thing out here. And he ain't the last one, unfortunately. But peace to that young brother's soul. Y'all let me know what y'all think down there in the comments. And if y'all made it this far into the video, the least, hit the like one time for your boy. And if you ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, because you know more videos like this continuously come. I look forward to hearing what y'all got to say. Until the next one, I'm gone.